I'm not really here yet, okay? There's just so many early birds in the chat that I decided I'm going to come on a little early. Oops. And Whip is underneath there before the chat gets away and just chat with you a little bit. So I'm not really here, okay? I'm just chatting with you all. Jean, by the way. So, yes, Michelle, my belle, you are just an awesome early bird. Always there so early, early, early. And before I forget, Michelle, send me an email, if you will, please, with your address, because there is something that I want to send to you. If you will do that, I would really appreciate it. And Sister Debbie from In Quilt Fact. Good morning to you. Danielle, my dear daughter, is here and in the chat early. And guess who? Nancy is also here very early in the chat. And Carol Russo is also here early. Everyone, of course, since I hit that live button a little early, is popping in early now as Katie's Crafts. Christine is also here this morning with all the rest of you early birds. Well, thank you, Danielle. I'm in my favorite little corner. Of course, I'm going to look awesome this morning. And it's Monday morning, the start of the week. We have to start it off right. Right? I don't know why I'm still talking so quiet, but hopefully you can hear me. But yeah, I've been here for a while because I've been setting up several camera angles trying to play with them this morning, but Teresa Lynch is also here this morning. I'm going to wait and do my official welcome and intro when we hit 11 o'clock. And just decided there was so many. I knew that that chat was going to get away from me. I didn't want to have to go off and scroll up to catch everything. So yeah, and I like that you were talking about that mani-pedi that you have coming up, Michelle. That's awesome. I need to work one of those in for me because since I've had both knees replaced and both hips replaced, yeah, there's no reaching those feet to be able to give myself a pedicure. So can do my nails, but yeah, different story when it comes to that. And with summer coming on, I'm gonna have to have the feet looking good too. So I'll have to do that as well. But yeah, so how's everybody's Monday morning starting out? Really good, I hope. We are a chatty bunch. Yes, yes, we are. And I think that's awesome. I usually sit here and I kind of, am watching that chat as I am getting ready, but I just decided, hey, there's so many and there's so much going on already. I'm going to pop in a little early just so those of you that do come on early, I will go ahead and start chatting with you before we get started with the official live this morning. I don't know. Nothing's really official, is it? We're just laid back always, in our awesome world of quilting and stitching and sharing and chatting and chatting and chatting and chatting. And Terry Adamson is here also this morning. And I always say I'm not going to say your last name because I always get it wrong. But good morning, Terry. Oh, yes, but don't think I missed anything other than chatter between each and every one of you early birds that is in here. It is going to be an awesome week. I can just tell. The sun is shining. The birds are singing. Not the ones in Danielle's sewing room, but the ones outside my window. A different kind of bird. But oh, and you should have heard the tree frogs last night. Oh, what a symphony they were playing. I mean, even Whip, when he went outside, couldn't keep attention on what he was supposed to be doing out there because he was listening to all the tree frogs and wondering, what is that sound? But they are really, really out in my neighborhood anyway. But so some of the things that bring us joy is just amazing, isn't it? But I loved the sound of that. But And oh, they definitely singing and quacking. Quasar started at 7 a.m. today. All right. Well, yeah. Dear old Whip loves to be a work in progress early, early, early. And I think he was ready to be on the go at, oh, it was about 5:30 this morning, I believe. So, but I was already awake and up, thank goodness. But yeah, he is quite the early bird also. And Sister Debbie says, hey, everybody chatting with Mary on our chat group. Be back in a bit. No problem, Sister Debbie. Multitasking is a must in this community. Very much so. But you notice I am sitting behind my floor quilting frame this morning. So I'm sure, and by what was put in the description and title of our Stitch Talk this morning, I think you know what I will be working on this morning as we chat. But one of my favorite places to be, just going to be laid back this morning, do some hand quilting on the retirement quilt, my husband's retirement quilt, and just chat and share and see what's going on in everyone's quilty stitching lives this morning. But let me see, it is 10:59, so I will go ahead and officially start for those of you that are waiting to pop on at the scheduled time for this live stream. Hi, I'm Jean with Captain Stitches, and this is Monday morning, so it is Stitch Talk. If it's about stitching, let's talk. And I am in my favorite corner in the stitching cottage this morning. It is the hand stitching corner. So welcome, welcome. Come on in, everybody. Let's have a little quilting bee this morning because I am at my floor stand hoop and I am going to be hand quilting. So if you have something close by that you can work on, let's grab it and have just a little old-fashioned quilting bee this morning and have some great coffee, great tea, whatever beverage it is that you enjoy, and some great visiting around the quilt frame this morning. Let me make sure I haven't missed everyone. I have said hello to all the early birds as they popped in. And Giovanna is here. Good morning to you, Giovanna. I think everyone else. Yes, I haven't missed anyone yet popping in, but you have all been here, and I started a little early chatting with those that are in. Carol, I did say hello to you, right? I want to make sure that I did. I know that you're in there. I believe that I did. But yeah, it is an awesome morning. And guess what? Before I forget, I want to share a very strange phenomenon that happened in the stitching cottage yesterday afternoon. Something that is very unheard of, was rather confusing for me, but I fell asleep. I actually had a nap. Can you believe it? I have not had a nap, and I cannot tell you how many years I do not sleep at night, let alone sleep during the day. And I actually came out here, was sitting right here in my stitching corner, and I forget what I was actually working on at the time, but I actually fell asleep. And not only for a little, oh, the head dozed off and back up. I fell asleep for 2 hours. 2 hours. I woke up and I did not know how to act because it was like, wow, that has never happened. So, yes, I always need sleep. So, very, very much so. But, unless it's that I have been put out for surgery, I do not sleep during the day whatsoever. Once I am up, I am up. And Debbie says, Yay! OMG! I'm so happy for you. Yes, it was just, I was like, oh my goodness, how did that happen? Yeah, Danielle says, you slept? What? Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. And Whip was out here and he slept right underneath the chair the entire time. So we both got an awesome resting. The only thing is, I do have to admit, it messed up with my, being able to even get that other 2 hours in during the night because it was like, what? Now I'm totally messed up. It was supposed to be like, for me, 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was, oh, what was it? It was like 7 o'clock or something like that, which, by the way, is why I missed when you finally got your mic and everything to work, Sister Debbie, and we're able to come back on and do your live. That is why I missed it and I wasn't there, or I definitely would have been there. I was surprised when I got back on and thought, oh, okay, she was able to come on and you did do your live. So I did watch the replay, but that is why I wasn't there live. But yeah, what a great thing. Yes, it was. And good morning to you, Kim. It is great to see you this morning. Like I said, a beautiful start to the week, a beautiful morning, sun shining. I think we may have some rain this afternoon. Hey, we've been having so much rain. Of course, we're going to have rain this afternoon, but I will enjoy the sun this morning. Anyway, it is Stitch Talk. And I am in the stitching corner and I will be changing camera angle for you. We'll see which one. I've got a couple set up that you like the best when I start doing some hand quilting here. But we will yeah, no worries. You needed your rest. I guess so. And Giovanna says, your body needed it. That is why you fell asleep. Yes, I'm sure that is it. And believe me, we thanked the one above for that extra sleep too, and said, hey, what happened? But yeah, very, very, very blessed to have had that phenomenon happen. I hope it starts happening more often. That would be awesome. But maybe some of you have been sending prayers out that I'm not aware of. And if you are, keep it up. I would love for that to happen more. And before I forget, I did get a message from Vicky Rumsey, who is usually in our chat. She was in the hospital. I'm sure she's probably still in the hospital. I don't know. I do not know why she was there, what's going on. I know that she did have surgery. It was a surgery that the doctors did not believe that she would make it through, but she did make it through. Yay, yay, awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm sure we will be hearing from her again very soon in the chat or something, because she did message and leave a comment on my community tab post that was a members only one, and let me know that she made it through the surgery that she had. So just so those of you that know her and are used to seeing her in the chat, she is a member of the Stitching Friends. She is doing okay. And let me make sure I haven't missed anyone else there. And Giovanna says, we have had a great morning full of sun. I hope it doesn't rain, as I need to put the grass tomorrow. Do you mean mow the grass tomorrow, or I'm not sure on that, Giovanna. But yes, our lawn, back lawn especially, because that's where the dogs are the majority of the time, needs to be mowed today. I'm not sure if my husband knows that it's supposed to rain this afternoon, but he will be watching, and as soon as I get off this live, he will be out and he will have the mower going in the backyard. So, but anyway, and I have, just in case, I've got my keyboard down here in my lap. I hope I don't knock it off. And if you see me reaching, the mouse is clear up here away from me. Quite the setup I have in this corner. It's too bad I don't have a camera just to be able to show you all the stuff that's set up around me right now. It's like I can't move. Oh, but yes, I thought you meant cut the grass. Yeah, no, it's yeah, I don't think it's chubby fingers. We all do it. It happens. Good morning, Deb S. How is the little pug doing this morning? I forget her name. I'm sorry. But yes. Okay. So first of all, while there's still a few, I'm gonna wait. I have to get my arm under here. There's quite a bit of excess quilt here. But I'm just going to, while I still watch the chat because it's early before I switch view, which I could still do that, but I am going to. She's great. It's honey. That's right. That should be easy for me to remember, Deb. I'm sorry. But yes, I think it's awesome how and several of us ended up getting new puppies around the same time. So it's great not only to be able to share our love of quilting and stitching, but to share the love of our little puppies that are kind of growing up together. I think that is awesome. But okay. Okay, I'm I'm back. Dang, working my way again. Oh, I don't think you missed too many, but I am going to go ahead and I don't know why that is up there. But I am going to change, and I'm trying to figure out which one I want to switch it to. I am going to change over to this view for right now while I am working on the quilt. And I realize it's a little awkward angle that you're seeing there, but it was an awkward place to be able to try and put a camera with everything else that is here and in the way. So we will see how that one works for a while, and then we will try the other view, and you can let me know which one you prefer. Right. So this is my husband's retirement quilt. That has been on the back burner. I mean, put on the back burner. I can't tell you how many times. It has been on my large hand quilting frame in the house, which is called Big Bertha. She is a 3-rail ratcheting hand quilting frame that is, what is she? She's about the same size as my long arm. Oops. Thimbles sliding on the finger there this morning. Gotta get that back on. But and I have taken it off to put other quilts on during that time and then put it back on. It's just been set to the side for months at a time and brought back out. I put it in my lap hoop frame at times. And let's just say it needs to have some attention. It needs to stay on this frame now, and I need to work on it a little bit every day and finally get this quilt finished. It has been a while since my husband retired. And as you can see, this is a signature quilt also, and it has the snowball blocks on it with the 9 patch blocks alternating. And the snowball blocks are the ones that all the contractors, employees, I mean, all over, not just the county that we live in, but a couple other counties. Um, all the all the workers and everything associated within the county signed these blocks. several months before his retirement working on that so it could be put together, and he knew nothing about it the whole entire time. Good morning, Elaine. It is great to see you again this morning. Thank you for joining us. Letitia is also here this morning. Good morning, good morning. Great to see you. Um, and while I'm thinking of it, and reminiscing of old times here, we don't want to get off in that tangent again, but yeah, there are some awesome, I mean, not just signatures, they actually, said what they wanted to say and signed it. So it's fun rereading everything that was said by everyone on this quilt as I am quilting it and get a reminder of what's on there. There's also pictures of the building that he worked in, the truck that he drove, one of the trucks that he drove in the center of the quilt. Yeah, lots of good memories. It's going to be a definite heirloom, and it's actually because the one building that was a historical building in our county, but has since, yeah, they finally decided to tear it down. So this is actually kind of a historical quilt at the same time because it does have some of those landmarks on it. But but anyhow, what I was going to ask is, let me know how many of you are hand quilters in the chat this morning. How many do we have that actually do some hand quilting? And how many of you have a quilt that you are hand quilting presently? Not right now this morning with me, but are working on a quilt that you are hand quilting. Not sure I know how many we have that are subscribed and follow me that are hand quilters. I know we have a lot of other needle art ones that do different types of embroidery and the slow stitching and the cross stitch and the crochet and all those other kinds. But how many of you are actually hand quilters also? Danielle says, me. Yes, you are. Does making a yo-yo quilt by hand count? Yeah. Yes, and well, I would have to say no because that technically is not hand quilting. That's hand stitching. It is not hand quilting. There is a difference there, Michelle, but it's awesome that you are doing a yo-yo quilt by hand. I love yo-yo quilts. I love making yo-yos. So, and Christine says, not me, thinking about it though. Letitia says, I do hand quilting. And Terry says, that's the only way that I used to quilt them. Yeah, I used to do all mine by hand too. But yeah, now you kind of realize that, yeah, if you're going to get the number of quilts done that you like to make, yeah, can't hand quilt them all. And that's when I started on the domestic machine, and then I eventually got the long arm. So now I quilt all three methods. But and yeah, Terry just said I decided last year to learn to machine quilt. And Giovanna says, I don't do that as I have problems with my hands. And I understand that. I also have problems with my hands, but because hand quilting, hand stitching is my first love, my true love, I will not give it up until I absolutely have to give it up. So I keep actively doing it to keep my hands working and moving because I'm afraid if I stop, yes, they will also. Oops, can't get through that seam allowance right there. So, but I do understand that, Giovanna. And Danielle says, I normally do machine quilting, but I have one very special wall hanging I'm doing for a very special person as hand quilting. That is awesome, Danielle. As I try not to. Try not to let on that I may know who that person is and what quilt that is. But I do think that is awesome. And I'm sure there will be tears that fall on that quilt when it is received. And oh, Lisa, the awkward quilter says, hi all, she is lurking this morning. So welcome, Lisa, our other lurker while she works. Oops, we just got a knot in there when I did that. Oh no. No, 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 no. At least I'm to the bottom where I'm getting ready to restart that anyway. And we are going to park that one because I have others going here. We are just going to leave that there. When that happens, I will go up and whoops, come on, needle, cooperate with me. Put that needle in there and we will go back and fix that later because I also have this one up here. When I work on a frame, I work as far as I can in the area that is under the hoop. I've got my thread caught on there funny. Say, we're not having mic problems. We're having get this thread going right problems on here this morning. Okay, now I've got it caught up. There we go. Unwrap the thread. I wrap the thread apart so I don't get it caught in the way while I'm doing the others, but LOL, you do, Mama Jean. I believe I do. Somebody has a little problem keeping secrets. And guess who Nancy says, I used to help my husband's grandmother hand quilting her quilts. There were several of us sitting around the hoop and stitching. Yes, that is the good old quilting bee. Sitting around the hoop, everyone with a needle in their hand, doing some hand quilting, enjoying usually a cup of coffee or tea, a little snack, and having a great time just chatting with each other and getting the quilt done for whoever the recipient is of the quilt. They get done a lot quicker with many hands working on them instead of just one set of hands. Which I would love to be able to set up the hand quilting frame again as well, but it just takes up so much room. And I just don't have things arranged properly in the house right now to set it back up. But eventually it will be set up again. I would love to have a different location to dedicate to my long arm, and I would love to have my hand quilting frame set up out here in the stitching cottage instead. That is my plan on down the road, but is not possible at this time. But that will become a reality one of these days. Good morning, Lori Clark. It is great to see you. How are you this morning? And the question this morning is, are you a hand quilter? Michelle says, I was given a large quilting frame years ago, but don't have the room to set it up. Yes, they do take up quite a bit of space. Luckily, the one thing that does make a difference on my hand quilting frame is the fact that you can tilt it straight down instead of in the horizontal, way flat that you have it out when you're working on it. When you are not working on it, you can loosen it and you can actually tilt it up so that it will push against the wall flatter and not take up as much room. But that's still, you have to have that whole space still dedicated to it. So that really doesn't help much when it comes to having the room for it. Giovanna says, I need to hand embroider with beads, but now I lost interest. Not that I don't have the beads. I have a ton of them. Oh, Giovanna, so do I. I used to do a lot of beading, made a lot of jewelry. And all my beads and everything are in a cabinet out in my husband's workshop. So I still have them all, and I go out there and I get them once in a while to use for embellishing on some of my slow stitching projects right now. But yeah, I have a lot of other craft supplies also hidden around in various areas. And Lisa says, now for an ooh moment. I was hand stitching, which is not my favorite. The needle pierced my cuticle, and now I have a, not going to try and say that, but an infection. Yuck. Oh, I am so sorry, Lisa. I have poked myself, drawn blood and everything. I've never gotten an infection yet, though. I am sorry to hear that. But yes, and that definitely does hurt. And Lori says, I just finished hand sewing binding. That's as far as I go. Okay. Well, I give kudos to you for that because there are a lot that do not like to do binding by hand either. I love to do binding by hand. That to me is total relaxation, total mindless work. So hello, so Terry, good morning to you. Hello, Lynn. She is working from home and lurking too. Awesome, awesome. We haven't got to see you in the chat for a while. Great to see you. And Terry says, love the colors of your project. Thank you. The colors were chosen on this project. It was a jelly roll way back then, but the accent color on the snowballs, I chose the green because my husband was the chief plumbing inspector for Greene County for, several years. And Greene County, what better choice than to pick green fabric, right? And so, but this is, why can't I think of it right now? Kansas Troubles fabric from several years back is what all the colorful ones that you see, and then it's just various greens that I pulled from my stash at the time and various backgrounds that I pulled from the stash to make the snowball blocks for the signature blocks. So, but thank you. I am the best replayer ever, says Danielle. Okay. I want to make sure I don't miss any of the comments. And Lisa says, Deb, Danielle, just saw you will be on a live together. Yes, awesome. Set my notification and hope I can watch the live. Coming up soon to a room near you. I love the green and brown together. Thank you, Terry. So, are you hand quilting it? Yes, I am hand quilting it. I have been hand quilting it for a few years because it keeps being put on the back burner, but brought it out and now it is going to remain on this new floor frame that I got for having out here, and I plan to work on it every day until it is finished. And Giovanna says, love the color of your nails. Well, thank you, except I'm trying not to show them much because yeah, I do need to redo them. I need a manicure this morning. But oh, that Deb, yes. Wrong Deb, I was thinking, but yes, Deb S, the Pug Mama is going to be on your channel. Yes, she is. I am excited for that also. But oh, we're pulling at the wrong needle there. That's the one I parked to take care of because got a little catch in the thread down there. So I will take care of that when I get down to the bottom of the hoop with the rest of these. I have actually got 4 needles working on this, working across here. I work the part in the hoop that I can reach, have them all going at the same time. When I get down to here where I need to move the hoop, which I realize that captions may in the way of you seeing, then I will rehoop it and just continue on working across, always having however many needles that I need threaded and going at the same time. Once I get down to the bottom, I just go to the next one and start working with it. But I normally hand quilt first thing in the morning and last thing in the evening, and do everything else that needs to be done in the middle of the day. So those are my schedule. And I have not named my floor this frame yet, which I just realized that that's unusual for me not to do that. And so I am going to have to come up with a name for her or him. Everything I have is a female name. Maybe I'm going to have to come up with a male name. Well, Whip is a male, but that name isn't really a male. But thumbs up, everyone. Thank you, Giovanna. And Terry says, it is going to be an art quilt for is it going to be an art quilt for hanging, or is it a full-size quilt? It is actually an oversized queen quilt because of the number of blocks that I needed to put on it for all the signatures for all the people in the county. It's his retirement quilt. It yeah, grew rather quickly. So it is an oversized queen quilt. It can be I do have a place that it can be displayed on my wall, but it will yeah, I'm not exactly sure how we are going to display it. It may be folded and across the back of the couch. It may get displayed in different areas at different times, and at times actually be on the bed. We shall see. That decision hasn't been totally made yet, but thank you for asking. Makes me think about it. Okay, I don't think I have missed any of the comments. And Andrea is here. Good morning, Andrea. Howdy, everyone. I took a break in the rain to take care of the bunnies. So just made it here in time for halftime. LOL. Is it halftime? It most certainly is. Thank you for the reminder there, Andrea. But actually, I popped on a little early and chatted with all the early birds that were in the channel this morning. It was great to see that many popping on. So since I was here, I just went ahead, hit that live button, and went on a little early. And yes, I was going to ask you about how you are faring in the storms. And Andrea says, we are all fine. I do not have a headache today, so that makes it a fantastic day. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Which I'm very, very glad. I mean, we had, there was quite the outbreak of tornadoes Friday and Saturday, and especially yesterday. They were all in the area where my youngest son lives. He lives in Oklahoma City, and I was very glad when he popped on, and how they have that listed himself as safe. So I know that he is okay, because I know that the one that did hit and destroy a lot in that town is very, very, very close to where he is. And so Terry says, I just got up. Like I said, I'm a morning sleeper. I love retirement. You missed. I actually fell asleep in this chair yesterday afternoon. I don't even remember what I was doing. All I know is I came to and I was in shock. It was like, what happened and where did the time go? That is the first that has happened, and I cannot name how many years. So I actually did not know how to act after waking up from a nap. It was like a phenomenon that hopefully will return. Yeah, it was so exciting. I let my husband, know. I said, guess what happened? Oh, making sure I know there's several Debs. So when I see the hello Deb again, I'm making sure another one didn't pop in that I'm missing. I wanted to, and I don't know, I am down at the bottom. You probably can't see. I can't tell. I am going to see. Which one am I on? Okay. I am going to replace the spotlight to this other one because yes, now you can see where I am on this one. But right here, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 seams that are coming together. And that is where I am getting ready to stitch. Oh, and you cannot see it. I am below it. Well, it's right here. You just can't see when I pull away. And instead of trying, and there is a way to kind of cheat when you are hand quilting. I am not going to go all the way through the quilt to the back side because no one is ever going to know that that stitch that I am taking right now through the inside of the layers did not go all the way through the back. If somebody comes and inspects this quilt to know that there was one stitch that did not go all the way through the layers and is not important, as it's not going to be one that, with all the rest of the stitches that are in there, is going to cause the quilt to fall apart. That is how you get through a space like that when it is too thick for your needle to go all the way through and back up. So there, we have our tip for the day thrown in there also. You will see that I am getting to the bottom to where I'm going to have to. Won't be able to quilt any further this direction, so I just load the stitches on my needle. I leave it there and I wrap the thread around the needle so that it does not get caught and pulled out or in the way of anything. And then I go up to where I have my next one, which you can't see in this view, so we are going to switch back. Because you won't be able to see it. And I am going to move, sorry, that keyboard off my lap out of the way because I could not get to this needle with it there. So now I'm going up. Whoopee. Which is under there again? This one. There we go. So I just go up to the next one that I'm working across and continue on with it all the way down. Thank you, Andrea. Andrea says, might have been the rain. I sleep better when it's raining, just not when it is storming. Then I do not sleep at all. It was not raining here yesterday afternoon when that nap occurred, Andrea. And Lori, Lori says, I'm folding laundry. Does that count as fabric work? Sure, it counts as fabric work. Oh, you are touching lots of fabric. It definitely counts as work. Let's put it that way, Lori. And Giovanna says, ladies, I have to go. See you all in the next live. Bye. Thank you, Giovanna. You take care. Thanks for popping on and have an awesome and wonderful day, evening, whichever it is there. But I especially love when I get to the point that I get to advance the quilt in the frame. That means we actually got something done. And Whip is definitely a quilting puppy because his favorite spot in here now seems to be touching this quilt or laying with part of his body underneath it. I glanced over yesterday and he was laying stretched flat out on his back. His head was underneath the quilt and the rest of his body was hanging out. It was rather comical, but he was sound asleep. And that is where I will often find him, is laying with part of him touching this quilt. So he is very happy that it is also in the stitching cottage. Oh, I was wondering what that yucky word was, Danielle. I was looking up to see what was said. No, yeah, I forget. I think I went to grab my camera and I can't remember why it was that I couldn't take a picture at the moment, but I'm sure it will happen again and I will get a picture of it then. You will see it, Danielle. And Shirley is here. Good morning, Shirley. It is great to see you from around to it. She says, hello, Jean and everyone listening while I cut out for a log cabin table runner. Awesome. Love a log cabin quilt. Have not done one for a while. I might have to, yeah, I need to, I need to design something again. You just gave me You just gave me an idea, Shirley. Might have to incorporate a variation of a log cabin somehow into that. And Andrea says, Mama is touching it, so he wants to touch it too. What Mama does, Whip wants to do too. Yes, except it's often when Mama isn't anywhere near the quilt. And so it just is, he knows it's my happy place. So whether I'm, working on it or not, yeah, that's where he is tired, he has a tendency to go and lay so that he is touching the quilt, which I think I have fabric because for all of our dogs, I have always made them their own quilts. And Stitches and Whip, neither one have a quilt yet. And yes, I could have used fabric from my stash, but I ordered special fabric for them from the quilt shop that I used to work at that is online only now, Fabric Shack. Some of you may have heard of it. It was a very, very popular quilt shop, well known. But I ordered the fabric from there and I believe it should be arriving this afternoon. Have not Have not decided what I am going to quilt yet, but I will come up with something. And yeah, Shirley is saying hello to everyone. And I believe I'm gonna, oops. Every once in a while I stitch, the little top layer of my skin underneath, and I just had to pull my finger away from that. It was caught in the needle. Not that it hurt. It's just, that little bit of, layer of skin that sometimes catch with the needle. Mm. Trying to sew myself to the bottom of it, I guess. Which that reminds me of my one friend that I teach to quilt that comes over. I have two of them that come over. This is the older one, but she was working on applique one day, and she was ready to put her project away for the day and, close up, get ready to leave and go home. And she had stitched her applique to her shirt that she was wearing. So she kind of had to undo the stitching and remove herself from her work. But Andrea says, I do that too, LOL. Yes, the catching the skin every once in a while, and you try to pull your finger away and realize, oops, I'm connected there a little bit. But, and I will show you in just a minute. Of course, I'll have to change the camera view. I keep thinking that you can see me and you can't. You're only seeing the view of the stitching corner and the frame and what I am working on. But I can lay my hand on top of it and you will be able to see. I'm at the end there, and we'll figure out which camera am I on. And you can't see, but I don't have anything on my underneath fingers. I I like to feel I like to feel that needle tip come through. I know the little bevel that it has on the end of it. So the minute I feel that come through the fabric, I know to push it up, and that is how I get the small, consistent stitch. And Lori says, I am also waiting for a fabric delivery, hoping to finish a project before it shows up. Yeah, did you see? If you did not see, Lori, you need to go back and watch my yeah, I had problems, so I had to quickly go on live and do my week in review yesterday instead because yeah, halfway through my recording of it, yeah. Things did not go right and I wasn't able to record it. So I went on live real quick that nobody knew I was going to be doing so that I would at least still get that. But I show a bunch of African fabrics that I got mailed to me by a dear friend. And you will want to go and see all that awesomeness. 18 and a half yards of authentic African fabrics. And Andrea says, I fell asleep while crocheting one day, and when I woke up, I had crocheted my hair into the shawl I was working on. Oh no, Andrea. Oh no, oh no, oh no. And good morning, Melody. Or afternoon. Nope, it's still morning here anyway. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. Having a little old-fashioned quilting bee this morning, working on the hand quilting frame and chatting with everyone that has come to join me in the stitching cottage this morning. So awesome. It's just like having you all right here with me. Love it. And Andrea says, it is beautiful. It is worth going and seeing. Oh, she's talking about the African fabrics. Yes, yes. Oh, it's just, yeah, I haven't put them away yet. I'm still looking at them and making sure that I drool over them from a distance. But yeah, just totally, totally awesome. And Lori says, I will go check that out. I have some from Africa too. Son brought it back. Awesome. Yeah, these are the first that I have. I actually have one, two, three, four, five pattern books that I pulled from my shelves last night to look through to try and get some ideas of for quilts that I want to make with them. Especially I want to figure out one because the friend that sent them to me, we are going to actually make a quilt together out of them also. And that is what I want to try and see if I can come up with an idea for that quilt. I have a few ideas floating through my never ending mind of projects and thoughts. But we will see what I can come up with, and if it is something that she decides that yes, she likes that idea too. But I know some of them I love to make purses and clutches and things like that, and some of them will work very well for that also. So there will be a few that get set aside for that. Some of them have the coating and some of them do not. And I was going to, yes, if you know where to research for that, I I need to research on the proper pre-washing of those that have that coating on them. I have them sorted by the ones that have that and the ones that don't, and the ones that have a bit of beading on them also. So the ones that have the beadwork on them are ones that I will use in my purse and bag making. So I can be a little bit more careful on where the needle falls while stitching on those. And we're at the bottom with that needle. We have one more over here. I don't know. Yep. I guess it's kind of in view there that I have to do before I can move the hoop yet. I have to turn this just a little because that's over a little far for me to reach and get at. And Lori says, so Terry, you changed your pick again. Yeah, I noticed that too. It's like it wasn't the same one I'm used to seeing pop up there. Okay. This one doesn't have as far a distance to go because it's on that outer part of the hoop. Andrew says, I was making a custom quilt for a client last year and they wanted Native American fabric. I Googled Native American and also found the African fabric instead. I fell in love with them. Yes. I I really got my finger under that one. Let's try that again. Oops. Come here. This stitch doesn't want to cooperate with me. And it is because Danielle, if you're listening, whoops, it's closer to the edge of the hoop where you have that happen easier than when it's in the middle because it doesn't have as much give right there as Danielle found out in bending her needles. But I just pulled it out and restarted to get that going correctly. Yeah. And Danielle says, I would reach out to T Quilts, as I'm sure she could tell you the proper prep for that. Well, I know that she has gone over the preparation for that, so I'm just going to go back and instead of bothering her, I know she's very, very busy. I will rewatch her videos and find the information on that and also see if she has any files related to that in her Facebook group. But yeah, she works with them a lot. I know. If I can't find any information on her videos, but I know because I've been watching when she has discussed some of that some of that process. So I know I will be able to go back and find that information. But thank you, Danielle, for the suggestion. Anyway, it just shows that yes, you are my daughter. We are very much alike. Same thinking there going on. And welcome, welcome, Mary Petrwix. I know I messed that up. But good morning to you, Mary. Enjoying the hand quilting. Thank you, thank you. And you must be a new subscriber. I don't believe that I have seen you on my channel or in a chat before. Or, I mean, you may have been lurking and I'm just not aware of it. But welcome, welcome. It is great to see you. And thank you. I'm glad that you are enjoying the hand quilting. I am enjoying it also and chatting with all of you as I have been able to complete this part. That skin must be loose on that finger now because I keep catching it quite a bit underneath there in the same spot, evidently. And did I miss Maritza pop in? There she is. Hola, hola, Maritza. Great to see you this morning also. We have our early birds and we have our late comers. And those of you that are there through the whole entire time, I love you all and appreciate you all. It is awesome to be able to sit here and work on something that you truly, truly enjoy and love and be able to chat with other like-minded friends. So I thank you for joining me in my stitching cottage this morning in my little hand stitching corner. I do have my coffee beside me that I do need a drink of. I'm sure well, no, I've got it on my cup warmer this morning, so it shouldn't be cold. I am new to your channel. Mary is fine. Don't worry about the last name. LOL. Thank you. Oh, I should be able to. It's if I could see it better and not be such small print. And I know it looks weird when I'm staring into the to the laptop like that. So yeah. We'll try and figure out the pronunciation of that later. So the next time I see you, I can see how close I come to it being correct. I think it would take some practice, though, saying it more than once. Protectress. Protectress. Oh, you know, my maiden name is one that no one ever pronounced correctly. Not as long as yours, but no one ever pronounced it correctly. It was always fun seeing what people were going to say. The town that I live in normally does not get pronounced correctly either, which is always a dead ringer on a phone call when you know it's not somebody from around here. Uh, the R is silent. Okay. The Teakwits? Or was that close? Was that close? I didn't say it too loud, but I'm not sure how many syllables there are to it. Might be trying to throw an extra one in there. Very fine. Get my last name right, even when I tell. Very few get your last name right, even when they tell them. Yes, I know. That's why I only call you Andrea. But after meeting for the first time, I don't really use last names unless, there are always several Debs in the chat. So to distinguish, which Deb is which, I will, throw in the last name there. But yeah, after the initial meeting, you are a friend, and friends don't go by last names, right? Petkovich. Petkovich. Okay, Petkovich. 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 Word association. I will remember the pet. But like I said, I'm sure I will refer to you as Mary from now on. And I hope it's Mary and not Marie. I could have said that wrong also. Just never know. But I almost, as I get that finger out from underneath there, almost to the end here. So the timing was just right on being able to finish the portion that was in the hoop. Well, I did my live stitch talk, and we did talk about stitching with all of you great and awesome friends. Because I am down to where now I need to move it in the hoop, advance it up to the next section. And there. Deb is the pug mama quilter. Yes, she is. Those got to start numbering Deb 1, Deb 2. Yeah, except we would never remember who Deb 1, Deb 2, and Deb 3 and Deb 4, because we have a couple Debs that aren't even on here yet this morning. So, but Terry says people get my first and last name wrong all the time. And being my name is Teresa, they often call me Larissa and not Teresa. I think I call you Terry. Well, I call you Terry. You're trying to confuse me, Terry. But okay. But I am going to let me come back to you all. The correct one. There I am. I have been here stitching away. Awesome. Awesome to have gotten this done to where I can advance. We'll lay the thimble over there. It'll roll off there, and then I'll be looking for it on the floor, or Whip will find it for me. And we don't want that to happen, though. They got the Terry wrong, too. Okay. Terry, Terry, Terry. Don't tarry long. Okay. Sorry. Get off on all the different ways that we could use that. But the Risa, LOL. Not going to answer to that. No, no, I don't blame you. And my name does not have an IE on the end of it. Just saying. Andrea says, down here in Texas, they put the person's title in front of the first name. Like I am Ms. Andrea. I am not from Texas, and we are less formal in the Ozarks. They do that in every state. There are just people that are raised that do that. Mr. and Miss. And yeah, I have when I grew up in Minnesota, and there were many that did that. I live in Ohio now, and I still hear it. I have been stationed in several different places while in the military, and I've heard that no matter where I have gone. So I think that just has to do with how your parents were raised, and it's a form of respect that a lot of people use. So you get T-Ree. Okay. Yeah. Oh, awesome. But thank you very much. I hope that you have enjoyed this a casual quilting bee this morning on Stitch Talk, just enjoying some time around the quilt hoop, working on the hand quilting and chatting away, trying to keep the topic on stitching as much as we can. But hey, if we drift off, that's all right too. And I still need to train myself to look up at the camera instead of down here at the other. But it's just so much easier to be looking at the chat and talking. But there you all are up there, not down here. But it is awesome. Awesome, awesome to be able to spend my mornings on Mondays and Fridays with all of you. And I hope that you have a great time also. Michelle says, yeah, here in North Carolina, it is the same way, Andrea. It is a form of respect. Yes, it is. And Mary says, hello, Danielle. I watch your channel too. I watch on TV most of the time, so you guys don't see me much. All right, I understand that. Yeah. And Danielle says, my mother always told me to address my elders as Mr., Miss, and Mrs., Ms., and Mr. Yes, we were taught that too. And Andrea says, bye everyone. Have a blessed day. I am sorry for getting everyone. Oh no, not at all. It's always that is no problem whatsoever, Andrea. Did not mean it that way at all. I was just referring to the title of the thing. We get off topic all the time, and there is no problem with that ever. And Lynn says, have a great day all. Thank you, Lynn. And great seeing you. Thank you. Hope you get to pop in again sometimes. And Danielle says, no worries, Mary. Thank you for watching us. We truly appreciate it. Yes, we do. I I watch on TV at times. I lurk at times. I'm doing other things. So I'm not always putting stuff in the comments either when I'm on others. And that is just fine. What's important is that we are watching and loving what everyone puts out there and learning something from everyone. Having a great time learning, seeing different points of view on everything there is to do with quilting, stitching, whatever it is that we watch and we enjoy. Hope everyone has a great day, says Michelle. And everyone, I do wish you a blessed day. Thank you for taking time out of your morning and spending it with me. Take care, everyone. Have a great and awesome week. Be productive. Share in whatever groups that you are on, photos and stuff of what you are working on, because we do love to see it and we do get inspiration from everything that everyone shares. So take care, everyone. I will see you again on Wednesday afternoon at 3 p.m. for It's Tip Demo Time, and again on Friday for Stitch Tips and Chat. And as always, in the meantime, remember that I can keep you in stitches. Bye-bye, everyone.